right, we are back with Act 2. So this is the 7th grade production of Paul Fleischman's Seed Folks. So Paul adapted this from his novel. This is a notable book. This has won a lot of honors. It's also been a community reading book, and I think you'll see why. So this has been a really incredible journey with the 7th grade on this play. This is a really different play for them. You got to see in the improv showcase their flair for comedy. And in this play, you'll see some comedy, but you'll also see a lot of really serious acting up here. This was a chance for them to really stretch and grow, to be risk takers. You'll see them doing monologues, you'll see them doing live action, physical action, you'll see them communicating without words. And you'll also see people playing characters that are really different from who they are in life. So you're going to see them playing characters of different races, of different cultural heritage and identities, different gender identities, and also different ages. The characters range in age in this play from teenagers all the way to people in their 80s and 90s. So it's been a really, really amazing journey taking this with them. Kalea and Penny are student directors. They're going to say a little bit about this play that you're about to see and kind of the process of putting it together and what it's like to be a director, too.
So Seed Folks is a play about community coming together and bonding over gardening in an empty lot in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. And the process of making Seed Folks be what it is right now was a crazy one, but it was really fun. It was a lot of hard work, and it got really, really stressful at times. But I think it turned out really well, and I think it's going to be a really amazing performance.
We would also like to acknowledge our sound design team.
Yeah.
We had 4 amazing people. So Sebastian is over here, Zachary is over here. We have Declan and Nicolas, and we'll introduce them to you again at the end of the show. They're here now. No, they're not. Okay, not they were. All right. So they created a kind of an additional character in this play. So Sebastian and Nicolas, all of the ambient sounds, so the sounds that you hear in the lot, in the garden, they designed all of those, and Declan and Zachary composed all original music for this show. So it was a tremendous amount of work, took a lot of perseverance, especially going to Catalina Island for a week without any kind of internet. They did an amazing job putting the sound design together. So I wanted to acknowledge their leadership right now. Can we just give them a round of applause? And it's also always a privilege to collaborate with students in many different ways, but particularly collaborating with them as directors. And I couldn't have asked for more amazing people than Kalea and Penny to be my collaborators. So please acknowledge them. And so now, without further ado, oh yes, there's one more announcement that I need to make. Thank you for reminding me. So we've had a lot of kind of illness wafting through EBI as of late, as all of you probably know. And right now, Amalia is struggling a little bit with her voice. She is going to act up a storm because she's an incredible actor, as you will see. And she's going to do her best with her voice, so please bear with her. She can't project too much, but she's going to act an amazing job. So thank you, Amalia. Yes. All right, and now, without further ado, we bring you Seed Folks.
It's a no-sore. Part sewer pipe, part slaughterhouse, part long-forgotten sauerkraut.
It's an ear sore, a symphony of breaking glass, howling cats, and squeaking rats.
Hey,
What?
keep it down.
Me? Yeah, you!
This line's a stray dog.
Sure is.
And out in the rain, dog.
Please.
Unkept.
Uncombed. Mangy.
No master.
No home.
No home.
What is it with this lousy lot?
Actually, this lot used to be a home to a lot of people. There was a candy store on the ground floor, a Romanian family.
They used to have stores that just sold candy.
They didn't just sell it, they made it. Licorice, toffee, marzipan. And on this side, they sold fabrics and buttons, everything for sewing. My friend Marlena Masek lived one floor up, and there were 3 more floors above hers. There were wedding parties, there were new babies born, shelling peas in the spring, husking summer corn. Then the building burned down. Now people walk by and don't realize how much life was once lived there in thin air.
Which is all well and good, but these days, this lot is a disgrace.
I'll say. I turned my face in my ass.
A flaw in the human race.
Well, Andy,
You're getting something?
It's more than the FDA's recommendation for daily intake of urban stagnation.
And poor citizenship.
And inconsideration.
And bubonic plague.
and annoying noise making.
What is
To break this lousy lot.
It was dawn. No one else in the apartment was awake. We had my father's photos still on our arms. I was 9 years old and still hoped my father's eyes might move, might notice me. The day before had been his death anniversary. The candles and incense we had lit burned out. In the middle of the night, I woke up. My mother was crying. Then my sisters cried. I started too, for a different reason. In the morning, I thought of it. It was a Saturday, the beginning of April. The wind made my cheeks feel like stone. In Vietnam, we had no weather like that. But here in Cleveland, people called it spring. I had never emptied the lot before, so I told myself I had to be brave. I picked the spot. The snow had melted, but the ground was hard. All I had was a spoon. It took a lot just to dig one hole, then another. I thought of how my mother and sister remembered my father. I had none of those memories to cry over. I had been born 8 months after he had died. So when his spirit visited our altar, did he even know who I was? I dug 6 holes and put 2 lima beads in each one. I could feel my father smile at that. All his life in Vietnam, he had been a farmer. Our apartment house here in Cleveland didn't have a yard. But here in the vacant lot, he'd see me. He'd watch my plants come up and spread. I'd show him that I could grow plants just like he had. I'd show him that I was a star. I patted down the soil, then I watered them. Then I told those beans, you better come up. Who needs history textbooks? I've seen history right here on Gibb Street. When I was young, it was mainly Romanians, like my parents. Then the Irish came. That bar over there changed from Laszlo's Tavern to the Plow and Star. The blacks came up from the south, the World War II, the 50s, the riots in the 66, then the steel mill shut down. No jobs, a ghost town. Then a new wave came in, Latin Americans. Now the bar's El Azteco. Then the Asians. Sometimes it seems I'm the only one staying here, watching them come and go, watching history out this window. One day, I saw something strange. A girl doing something with her. She was burning something. A gun, maybe drugs or money. She'd seen me. I'd have to know what she dug up. She'd probably come back for after dark. I took an old butter knife. It was wet where she'd been, easy digging. All I found was a big white beam. I tried a new spot. Another. Then a third. Then the truth of it slapped me in the face. She planted them in a little row. What had I done? I laid those beams right back in the ground, as gently as sleeping babies. The next day, I bought some binoculars. And the week after that, I called Brenda. They're dying. Who's dying? The beans. What beans? The beans the little Chinese girl planted. What girl? The one on the lot. She stopped watering them. I spent too much time at that window. Maybe she's sick. Maybe your family took a trip. All I know is that the plants are dying and I twisted my ankle and I can hardly move. And I need to water them this morning.
What am I, your chore boy?
No, we're friends.
I keep forgetting.
I could also use a quart of milk.
Just because I grew up in the country doesn't mean I own a cow.
2%.
School janitors take too much bossing all week to get an extra helping on weekends.
Ooh. Bean plants? What bean plants? Those bean plants.
What was she thinking? Planted them too early. Newspaper would help keep the water. Keep down the weeds, too. Here you go. Drink up. Hold on. I was just trying to... I came back after dinner and checked on them. They picked themselves up. Couldn't stop staring at me. Didn't know why. Then, I did. There's plenty about my life I can't change. Can't bring my wife back to life on this earth. Can't get rid of my asthma or make myself a millionaire. But a patch of ground in this trashy lot, I can change that. Better to put my time into that than moaning about the other all day. Little grammar school girl showed me that. I decided to pick myself out a spot, someplace not shaded too much. I could barely find the soil. It had been a good long while since I'd planted anything, but a country boy doesn't forget. The next day, when I brought Adrian some rye bread and cheese, instead of taking his money, I traded him for his shovel.
Other families caught between the hardships of refugee life and the risks of returning. Michelle Hussein, BBC News in Rebecca.
Madre de Dios, he could be anywhere!
Hey, I'm going. Hey, have you seen an old man? He was wearing... What was he wearing?
Sorry.
You sure? A straw hat? He always wears that when he's out. He doesn't speak English, or even Spanish. Just some Indian language. So if he got lost... Man, you scared me. He really loves a lot of money. It's weird. Tio Juan's like 8, but when he came to the U.S., he became a little baby again. Same thing kind of happened to my dad.
First thing I'm going to need is your name and place of birth.
Tu nombre?
I'm medical.
Your name,
That is his name, his first name.
last name,
Apellido?
Jimenez Villa.
H-I,
H-I-J-I-M-E-N-E-Z.
Villa.
B-I-L.
V-I-L-L-A.
Place of birth.
Santa Lucia, Cotzumagua.
I'll just put down Mexico.
Guatemala.
Now I'm going to need your complete family medical history.
He got younger. I got older. We came here together when I was 8. I learned English on the playground and watching TV. He worked in a restaurant all day with other Central Americans, so he could speak Spanish there. But when he was with Anglos, he got by on mumbles and smiles. Then, my mother came north with Tio Juan. Her uncle, he'd raised corn and chickens in Guatemala. Come on, let's go. That afternoon, there was a guy in the water. He had a little garden planted. Tio Juan got all excited. That night, he told my mother she was the only one that could understand him. When she got home from work the next day, she told me to take him back there. He took a long time to pick a spot he liked. My mother had bought him some seeds. I cleared the trash. He turned the soil. He showed me exactly how far apart and deep the row should be. When he poured the seeds through his hands, it was like he was looking at old friends. When he showed me how to plant them, it hit me that I didn't know anything about growing food, and that he knew everything. His hands were busy. His eyes weren't far away or confused. He turned from a baby back into a man.
First time I saw people out in the lot, I thought maybe they were looking for money. Turns out, they had shovels instead of metal detectors. When I saw they had little gardens going, I said to myself, I believe they'll do the same. Probably lots of folks might want to grow something. Then I saw all that trash. We can't get City Hall to pick up our trash, but it got delivered just fine. That garbage was too big a job for a wheelbarrow. It was a job for the telephone. I'm a 4th grade teacher. It was Easter vacation. I had some time. So I called.
City of Cleveland.
I started telling the woman who I was calling,
Transferring.
but she flicked me off before I could get it out.
Neighborhood services. You've reached code violators. If you're a contractor.
Do I sound like a contractor?
Neighborhood services.
Then,
Records administration.
somehow, I got to the complaint intake center.
Our regular hours are 8 a.m. until 8:15 a.m. If you reach us outside these hours.
Then someone told me that I wasn't what I wanted anyway, and that I ought to be talking to the Department of Public Health.
Call you in a medical emergency. Hang up and dial 911.
My blood pressure was building up to a medical emergency, but instead of 911, I tried the,
Division of Property Management.
which turns out to be about city-owned buildings, so I went over to,
Residential dumping.
which was only about residents taking their own trash to the dump. If only they would.
To report a pothole.
5 o'clock came and went. The whole day was a pothole. I decided the next day would be different.
Hi, can I help you?
I believe you can. Mr. Deadham's in charge of...
Mr. Dedham's actually quite busy this morning.
Well, I'm not. I'll wait.
We have a problem. This lady came with a trash bag. What should I do? She says she's complaining about that lot, down there. I should let her through? Okay. Come right on through.
The very next week, we had a crew from Brazil clearing that lot. I have to admit, I was a little surprised, but maybe I shouldn't have been. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a smell's worth 10,000.